This single key has totally messed up my motorcycle mojo today, and here's why. This is what I have for you guys today, the Triumph Speed Twin. It's a 1200cc. I spent a couple of days on this now trying to figure out where it fits in the actual lineup, and I think I got this one licked. The heart of the Speed Twin, a 1200cc engine, 112 Newton meters and 96 horsepower. More than enough power than you'll ever need commuting, going on a breakfast run, running around the city. It's really the all-inclusive package. The engine's been ripped straight out of the Thruxton R. Same kind of chassis setup, just a lot lighter. I mean, I was cruising on the highway, 6 gear, 2000 RPM. When you get on the throttle, it picks up and it just goes. So having a closer look at some of the details around the bike and the engine, something I really enjoy about this brand. The brushed aluminium finishes, the satin on the engine really just pops against this classic look. And it's a feature from this specific make that I love through all the bikes in the range. Okay, suspension, brakes, tires on the Speed Twin. Up front, you're running the Hablo Rossos, great tire from Pirelli, gets up to temperature, really sticky. You've got the double disc Brembos up front, great stopping power. Front fork is a KYB, non-adjustable, which is something I think can be upgraded in the future. I didn't really feel anything lacking with the front shock. When you're riding nice and slow, it absorbs all the slow bumps and you pick it up to speed. It's got just that little, at the end of it, you get a nice little bit of dampening coming back up, stiffens up. It's a really weird setup, but it seems to work. And then coming around the back, single disc at the back, you've got the spring pre-tension adjustable KYBs, which also gives you a little bit of options just to fine tune it a little bit more. And then obviously at the back, the Pirelli Rossos just rounding things off. First thing that's going to grab you is this really great handlebar setup. It reminds me a lot of the Street Triple, and along those lines, a nice upright riding position, super comfortable. You've got a nice Speed Twin logo in the middle. And then what you would expect from Triumph, the clocks look absolutely superb, really well lit. And while we're speaking about lighting, headlights, indicators, rear light, rear indicators, all LED, super bright, look really great on this machine. And I really like that they've stuck with this retro look, but obviously with the modern underpinnings, giving you that performance and lighting that you really need. When it comes to driver modes, 3 driver modes, you get your rain, you get your road, and you also get your sport mode, changing up throttle response and really giving it its own unique character. And then on the sides, this is something that I like from all the Triumph, I call it more the street bikes, where they've got these bar-in mirrors. It's actually really great quality, even as a standard item. For me, I'm a slightly bigger guy with broader shoulders, so the old school mirrors usually get in the way. These, absolutely perfect, great field of view, so you know exactly where you're situated on the road. And onto seating position. Well, I'm 1.9 meters tall, so as a really tall rider, most bikes for me give me a little bit of a tucked feeling. If I think back to when I rode the Bonneville, the T100, the foot peg seemed a lot lower and my foot had a lot more of a 90-degree angle than it did on this bike. This is a slightly more sporty inspired feel for me at least. The tank, the way it's shaped, kind of gives you that feeling. And then obviously, as I previously mentioned, the way with these handlebars are set up, it's really great. It reminds me in a lot of ways of the Street Triple RS. Having a closer look at the styling of the Speed Twin, and what I must say, This rear section really does it for me. It's got that flat tracker inspired look. This is an aluminium splash guard, yes, not plastic, aluminium, great touch. A nice big flat seat, more than enough space for a pillion rider at the back. And then the tank comes in 3 different colors, the silver, the black and the red. I think I prefer the dark grey metallic silver, just kind of shows the contours of the tank a lot more. And then the pinstripe just finishes it off. And then up front, you've got the complete open, naked look for a classic bike with a few modern touches. It just finishes it off nicely. And then the alloy wheels, just that extra bit of modern touch to bring the motorcycle up to date. So my final thoughts on the Speed Twin, and this is where everything sits, and this is why it's totally upset the apple cart in terms of motorcycling for me. The 2 top bikes that I've been loving for as long as they've been out, the Street Triple RS and the BMW R Nine T. Enters the Speed Twin, and for most people they consider the competition for the R Nine T to be the Thruxton R, which I don't quite agree with. The Thruxton R for me, it's more of a sport bike front end, completely different riding positions to the R Nine T, and that's where the Speed Twin comes in. I think that's more comparable in terms of what it is, comparing to the R Nine T as an all-round good bike. The Speed Twin surprised me. It's got great power, the motor's more inboard, you don't have the big Boxster sticking out the sides, which I like the response from the Boxster, and I like the feeling that the Boxster gives you. But this is something special about this 1200cc engine on the Speed Twin. It's so involving. The bike handles really well, great power delivery, loads of torque, upright riding position, ticks the boxes for me with a slightly sportier feel. So I have to say, the Speed Twin is number 1 on my list.